Welcome to Blue Harvest Vintage Toys again. Today I'm going to be looking at the Star Wars role-playing game guidebook, but I just wanted to show you, start off with the great packaging that has come from Ken over at Beautiful South over on eBay. He sells board games, so I would check him out if you're into board games. He sent me a nice little note, lovely little note. And it came not only in a box with brown packaging, it came wrapped, bubble wrap, and in a bag as well. So there you go. We'll be looking at that. So here we are with the Star Wars role-playing game guidebook from Western Games. This is the 1987 original version. They did a reprint of it a few years back, a couple of years back. Western Games was actually a company that made board games, role-playing games and war games. It was founded by Daniel Scott Poulter in 1974. In New York City, but later moved on to Hornsdale, Pennsylvania. Its current and past product lines include Star Wars, Paranoia, Torg, DC Universe, and Junta. So me thinking that Western Games was named after a company in London is totally wrong. Western Games was named after a bar in which the meeting was finalised, and its founding occurred at the West End Bar near Columbia University. Initially a producer of board war games, the company began producing role-playing games in 1984 with Paranoia. The highly produced volumes demanded by the war games industry made them one of the few companies that could compete with TSR, and they were able to acquire the license from Columbia Pictures to produce the role-playing game for the film Ghostbusters. I would love that. I'll have to have a look for that one. This game, Ghostbusters, a frightfully cheerful role-playing game, formed the basis for the D6 system, which was to be heavily used in many of their other licensed products. So in 1987, the company released their first Star Wars role-playing game, and this is what we're looking at right now. Since the films had been released some years previously, and that were at the time no new media forthcoming, the success of the books came as a surprise. The game established much of the groundwork for what later became the Star Wars Expanded Universe. Lucasfilm considered their source books so authoritative that when Timothy Zahn was hired to write the Thrawn trilogy, he was sent a box of West End Star Wars books and directed to utilise the background material presented within. Zahn's trilogy in turn renewed interest in the franchise and provided further sales for West End Games. 1990 saw the release of the Torg role-playing game, followed in 1994 by the Master Book system, which was mostly used in licensed RPG adaptations, Indiana Jones, Necroscope, Species, Tales of the Crypt, Tank Girl, and World of Aiden. Another licensed game, the Hercules and Xena role-playing game, was the last title released by the initial version of the company. In July 1998, Western Games went into bankruptcy following mismanagement between Western Games and then parent company Bucci Retail Group. When the parent company filed for bankruptcy, Western Games was forced to go under as well. The bankrupt Western Games then became WEG, Creative Design Group. While at New West End Games, D6 Legends Inc. was formed in partnership with Yeti, a French design house and publisher and subsidiary of Humanoid Publishing. In March 1999, under court supervision, WEG, Creative Design Group, sold off products and assets to pay off debt. WG Creative Design Group sold the new company intellectual property and the Paranoid licenses contract and the trademarks. Licensing contracts for the Indiana Jones, Star Wars and Xena remained with Creative Design Group, though the Star Wars license was soon lost to Wizards of the Coast, who released their own Star Wars game in 2000. As Humanoids Publishing was the publisher of the Meta Barons graphic novels, they utilised a D6 system to release an RPG based upon that setting. At the 1999 Gamma Trade Show, the new West End Games announced a third party of Paranoid for later June or July of that year, followed by a Bug Sector supplement, but these were never released. The DC Universe license was acquired with a new RPG, and also announced at the time, which was published in 1999. On July the 1st, 2002, the company made its systems, D6 Classics, D6 Legends, Masterbook and Torg, available via license to any publisher. In November 2003, West End Games was bought by Eric J. Gibson's Purgatory Publishing. He moved the company to Downingtown, Pennsylvania in 2004. Under his tenure, Torg received a revised edition, with a generic version of the D6 system was produced, which led to a line of irregular produced supplements, met with general approval from fans. However, this did not translate into high sales. In a post in the official West End's forum in 2008, Gibson announced that none of his D6 products produced since he acquired West End had turned a profit, and West End's other RPG lines were not performing as well as he had expected, leading to losses of hundreds of thousands of dollars. West End also expanded back into board games, beginning with a new edition of Junta, which according to Gibson was one of the few products that did turn a profit. 2007, the company announced a new science fiction RPG by Bill Coffin called Septimus, offering pre-orders, but following delays it was publicly cancelled by Gibson in March 2008. Gibson stated that in July 2008 that West End Games could not afford to provide refunds to customers who pre-ordered the cancelled Septimus product, and indeed who could not even afford to pay the postage to ship books to individuals who were willing to accept a refund in the form of products instead of money. Following the Septimus cancellation and fan backlash, Gibson said that he was planning on selling all of WEG's properties. Although this did not occur at the time, WEG eventually released Septimus via PDF and print on demand. Gibson stated in a 2010 podcast interview that it was perhaps foolishly optimistic in assuming sales would be higher than turned out to be because the name West End Games could carry a lot of weight. He further stated that this led him to print more books than he could sell, books which he eventually had to destroy in order to save on storage costs. Gibson planned to release a D6 system under the terms of the Open Gaming License to increase sales, but also to protect from myself, meaning that if the company had to be sold or go out of business, the system will still be available to the general public. In 2009, West End Games moved forward with these plans with the licensed product known as Open D6. Following the Septimus project, Purgatory Publishing sold off most of their properties, and in June 2010, Torg was sold to German company Ulysses Spiel, while in June 2010, the Masterbook system, Shatterzone and Blood Shadows, were sold to Pessis Intermedia. West End Games itself and its remaining properties, which by then consisted primarily of the D6 system, was purchased in April 2016 by Nocturnal Media, White Wolf Publishing founder Stuart Wyke's gaming company. Nocturnal intended to keep the West End Game brand alive, and with the first project using this branding was a revised edition of Greg Kostikian's 1984 WEG board game Web and Starship. A Kickstarter was launched in April 2016 and was successfully funded, but the death of Nocturnal owner Stuart Wyke in June 2017 ultimately resulted in the cancellation of that project. No further WEG branded titles have been announced since this time. With the Throne novels, maybe. Advert for R2D2. Wow, that's pretty cool. So you've got your map here as well for that that adventure. It's pretty good. And 4 adventure ideas. Jedi heirlooms. Interesting. So it's just nice to have something like this. It's it's a first edition. It's not the reprint. Oh, here we go. Here's where you make your character. You put all your things in, and your background personality, dark side points. Alien Student of the Force, Arrogant Novel, Armchair Historian, Bounty Hunter, Brash Pilot, Ewok, you can be an Ewok, Failed Jedi, Gambler, Kid, Laconic Scout, Loyal Retainer, The Merc, oh, Minor Jedi, Mon Calamari, Old Senatorial, The Outlaw Pirate, Quinoxic, is it Quinoxic Jedi? Interesting. Retired Imperial Captain, Smuggler, Tongue-Tied Engineer. Anybody going to be a tongue-tied engineer? Young Senatorial, Wookiee, Tough Native, a weapon chart. So you're all set up to start playing with this. It's all your charts, all your numbers you need to set up. And there's an advert for a plate. The Hamilton collection. Oh, come remember that. Wow. Wonder how much those are worth now. But not as much as you paid for them. I wouldn't have thought. $30. Wow. And these are the other books. That's the one I'm looking for next. The source book. Because that gives you the numbers for all the characters. But they did a Ghostbusters one as well. I don't mind trying to find that one. So there you go. That's the West End Games Star Wars book. And why I thought that that first 10 years anniversary. Why I thought this was probably because it's West End. West End. That's what I probably thought it was. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that look through. I know it was heavy on text, but thank you for watching, and may the toys be with you.